With just a $33 difference between them, one of these laptops quietly dominates the other in ways you might not expect. You're choosing between the MacBook Pro's Apple M5 and the ThinkPad T14s Snapdragon X Elite, with 10 versus 12 cores, a 4.61 versus 3.4 GHz base frequency, and 3nm versus 4nm process. But these numbers don't translate directly across architectures. What actually matters is that the MacBook Pro scores meaningfully higher in real-world benchmarks, so it handles demanding multitasking, editing, and coding more smoothly. That means your day involves less waiting and more fluid performance when you're pushing your laptop with heavy workloads. Every benchmark on screen shows the MacBook Pro pulling ahead by a clear margin, whether you look at single-core or multi-core results. You're choosing between the Apple M5 GPU and the Adreno X1-85, both integrated graphics solutions. On paper, the MacBook Pro's 4.1 teraflops and the ThinkPad T14s 3.8 teraflops aren't directly comparable. Real-world gaming and creative performance will depend more on software optimization and the apps you rely on. The MacBook Pro's 14.2-inch mini LED screen is barely larger, but its panel type is a real upgrade for contrast and brightness. You get a sharper 3024 by 1964 resolution versus 1920 by 1200, and a 120 Hz refresh rate instead of 60 Hz. That means movies, photos, and even scrolling through documents will look more vivid, detailed, and smoother on the MacBook Pro. MacBook Pro offers 1000 nits brightness while ThinkPad T14s reaches 400 nits, so sunlight visibility is dramatically different. Neither screen is touch-enabled, so your workflow stays keyboard-driven on both. HDR content looks vivid on MacBook Pro with Dolby Vision, while ThinkPad T14s lacks HDR support entirely. MacBook Pro uses a glossy 254 pixels per inch display, while ThinkPad T14s is matte at 162 pixels per inch, affecting sharpness and reflections. With a 72.4 watt-hour battery compared to 58 watt-hours, you get more unplugged time before needing to recharge. Charging speeds are close, 70 or 96 watt charging for the MacBook Pro, 65 watts for the ThinkPad T14s, so you likely won't notice a difference there. Both use USB-C for charging, so your daily routine stays simple with either laptop. Both the MacBook Pro and ThinkPad T14s ship with 16 GB of RAM as standard at this price. They use the same LPDDR5X memory type, and neither model lets you upgrade the RAM after purchase. You can expect equally smooth multitasking from both, with no difference in memory experience day to day. MacBook Pro gives you 1 TB of storage as standard, quadruple the ThinkPad T14s's 256 GB at this price. Both use M.2 SSDs with NVMe, so you get the same speed and responsiveness whichever you pick. Only the ThinkPad T14s lets you upgrade storage later, but the MacBook Pro's base capacity means you start with far more room. Choosing the ThinkPad T14s means carrying 1.24 kilograms instead of 1.6, so your bag feels lighter. Thickness is 15.5 millimeters for MacBook Pro and 16.9 for ThinkPad T14s, but that difference is barely noticeable. Aluminum gives MacBook Pro a solid feel, while ThinkPad T14s uses carbon fiber for a lighter, less metallic feel. Both offer Wi-Fi 7, so your wireless experience will be identical no matter which you use. Bluetooth 6.0 on the MacBook Pro and 5.3 on the ThinkPad T14s are so close you won't notice a difference. 3 USB 4.0 ports on the MacBook Pro versus 2 on the ThinkPad T14s means slightly more flexibility, but it's a minor distinction. Thunderbolt 5 versus 4, and both having an audio jack, are technical upgrades that won't impact your routine in any meaningful way. You get a backlit island keyboard either way, but the ThinkPad T14s offers 1.5mm key travel versus 1mm on the MacBook Pro, which means your fingers get more feedback and less fatigue during long writing sessions. Neither laptop includes a numpad, so your typing area stays compact. Both have a 1080p FHD webcam for clear video calls and include fingerprint readers for quick, secure logins. The extra key travel on the ThinkPad T14s is what changes your typing experience most throughout the workday. MacBook Pro gives you 5 CPU options, while ThinkPad T14s only offers 1, so you have more flexibility in tailoring performance to your needs. For RAM, MacBook Pro covers 16 GB, 24 GB, 36 GB, 48 GB, 64 GB, 96 GB, and 128 GB, plus storage options of 1 TB, 2 TB, and 8 TB, compared to ThinkPad T14s with 16 GB, 32 GB, and 64 GB RAM and 256 GB, 512 GB, and 1 TB storage, so you can fine-tune your configuration more precisely with the MacBook Pro. The prices are $1,699 for the MacBook Pro and $1,666 for the ThinkPad T14s, a $33 difference. You get black or silver on the MacBook Pro, black only on the ThinkPad T14s. For current pricing details, check the description below. MacBook Pro is for users who demand top-tier performance, battery life, and a sharper 3024 by 1964 resolution display in a single package, with more CPU, RAM, and storage configurations to choose from. If you value a lighter chassis or prioritize keyboard feel above all, look elsewhere. The one reason to hesitate: the design feels bulkier and less premium in hand. ThinkPad T14s is for professionals who prioritize a lightweight, durable chassis and a truly excellent keyboard for long typing sessions. If you demand top-tier performance, battery life, or a high-resolution mini LED panel, skip ThinkPad T14s. The honest hesitation: it ships with just 256 GB of storage at this price, which limits space for large files and apps. Which would you pick, the MacBook Pro or the ThinkPad T14s, and why? Drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe to Computer Matrix for more honest laptop comparisons.